Alright guys, if you don't know what none of that is, then let me walk you through it. We're going to do a fender chop. So we got to get rid of all this black. These are two-piece. Mine had the factory extended flare. So, which we're going to reuse those. And these here are like a little plastic push pin. You push in the center. I just used a center punch. And they shove in, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inner plastic clips. You pull all that out. I'll show you here, and it's colder than hell, so I'm gonna get through this as quick as I can. All right, now to get them pesky push pins out, I like my metal tool, plastic clip tool. I have some plastic ones, but you can actually use this. Stick it up in there and hold your thumb on it and yank on it. Pulls it out without breaking any of them. It's pretty simple fit. But now we gotta go in here. We gotta remove this brace, which we're gonna save this pin clip. And you got another plastic clip here we're just gonna cut off so we don't have to take this fender off. Same here, got another brace, one clamp, one plastic, and then this piece will separate from itself. Alright, there's one brace. You want to save these clips as best you can because these are like $7-8 a piece at Mopar or Dodge, where you want to say it. You can get them cheaper off Amazon, but man, I gotta do this side the same way. There's the other one. The rest of it's pretty easy. Just gotta get in there and yank on them. I like to start from the back. Because it's easier. You just keep working up around. Alright, move my tool. No, the right piece. And there's all that jumbo mumbo. Now, if you ask me, it was a good idea to remove that, even if you wasn't going to do it from the chop. Well, not necessarily all that, but I mean, that's holding a lot of mud and salt up in here. Now, we gotta go through, we gotta cut all these tabs off, and then the clips I broke. And I'm gonna take the water hose inside of this and over there. Get some new clips. Now, for now, I'm just gonna cut the inner fender to where it still goes inside, but not out here. I'm gonna cut it down until I save up some more coin, which that's about all of us. And I'm gonna put some rough country ones in all the way around. It's got some fishbone ones in the front that came with when I bought it. I really don't like them that well. So I'm gonna go with the black metal rough country ones all the way around on the inner fender wells. Anyway, you just gotta be careful. Don't want to cut into your fender. I usually go through and bend them. But you know they got a good breaking point. And you just go through and cut. I like the look of it. Once we do a little bit of paint work, and this is it. You can see we got a lot more clearance. We gotta do the front next once we get our brackets in. When we get our brackets in, it does away with all this and all that. So, let me get back here a little bit. I like it. Now, I don't got the inner fenders back in yet. I need to clean a little bit better in there and get some better push pins. The ones I took out that I was able to save just didn't fit tight enough. Everything still moved. So I'm going to get a next size up on them and get these to fit better. But that's all I'm gonna do with it for now. I'm gonna have fun with it. I mean, eventually, I got some factory rock guards, rock sliders to put on yet. We still gotta cut and cap them. But we got a lot more clearance now. When we was on the Hatfield McCoy Trail, we was on a real tight like bend, like it was a real tight, sharp bend, and we flexed out pretty bad. And this tire actually hit that plastic that was there. This is a 3.5 inch lift on this. And the tire rubbed. We shouldn't be rubbing it all now. I don't know if it rubbed the front. I know it rubbed the back. We had it pretty flexed out there a little bit. But they buy a bolt kit. Like you go through and rev nut the body and you put them clips back. Or not the clips, you put bolts back through instead of the clips. But I was thinking, when you're on a trail, well, if you catch that fender and it rips the fender in pieces, I think I'd rather catch it with clips on there and just let the clips break off and the fender fall off than rip all the plastic up and have to buy a new fender. Alright guys, here's the factory inner fender. Eventually I'm going to upgrade these to some metal insert ones. But for now, I'm going to cut these so it protects everything. Just trim these down. Can't use this outer piece no more. So you want to trim straight down with that. And I'll follow this line all the way down. And when you get up to here, you want to leave a lot of this corner because you're going to drill a hole in this plastic so you can add another clip to the back corner. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting. That much on there because this will overlap on the body. Drill a hole in this plastic and add another clip. But then you got that to protect everything. I'm not going to show you how to install it, but I'll show you how the other one's already in there. It's tight in there. It's hard to get in there and show you what's going on, but now this is just temporary. We've got a bunch of stuff back here, as you can see, back in there. Now I plugged this hole because it looked like it went inside, so we put a plug in it. I left a little bit here to bend this in. There's factory clip hole, clip hole, clip hole, clip hole, clip hole, factory clip hole, and here's the one you make. Cut that out, drill a hole in that, and put a clip in there. Keeps everything nice and tight. As you can see, worked out pretty well. Alright guys, this is before the fender chop. You can see how much material's here and there. You can see the approach. Still got a good approach, but eventually we might do black, or like might take them off and rhino line it. The paint match color is the same, where they're roughed up. I don't know though, but alright guys, this is gonna be a little hard to exactly show you guys how to take this out because it's so tight in here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and point some of this stuff out to you. Alright, you got clip, bolt. You got another bolt here, and these two here, but we'll do that after we get the liner out. And then you got to pull those two clips, not all these clips, just a couple of them. Some of this is riveted, and then this liner will come out, which has already been cut. Someone put these in before I got the Jeep, when I bought the Jeep, or whatever, whoever had it before, you know what I mean? Yeah, Now I redid them bolts down there on that inner fender and reattached it there, but these was not installed right. You hear them rattling. I had to fix the other side too. Once we get this down, I'll show you what I mean. But it's gonna be hard to get in here and show you exactly what's going on. But I'll go ahead and point it out now, and we'll zip it all out, and then we'll go from there. All right. I went in there and pulled all the clips, the two bolts, all the clips up through here, and this inner liner can come out just like that. I still got one kind of half-ass down here. There it is. Now you can see pretty well open in here. You got one bolt here. We already took these out. So next, I'm gonna start pop them clips out. let me get what I need and I'll show you how to do it. Now, I got the bolt out here at the inner fender too. I wanted to show you this real quick. I don't know if you can see up there, but that panel, this little piece here with the nut insert in it, is supposed to be behind this lip. That's supposed to be on the outside over here. So they installed this wrong. I just been pulling it out to keep it out of the way because you gotta get up here and get the clips. So, I don't know if I can do it one-handed. There we go. I just been pulling this down. I mean, it might bend it a little bit, but we're gonna be bending it back once we go up with it. But gotta clean the trash out of this. It's supposed to go, there's a hole right there on the other side of that clip. That's where that's supposed to go, and you're supposed to bolt it. But as you can see, someone just stuck it in there. Been rubbing a raw right through here. So yeah, now the best thing I found for these plastic clips, if you want to save them, is this tool right here. This is a plastic tool removal tool. Plastic tool removal tool. I don't know. But anyway, it moves clips. But it's got the perfect notch in it where you can go up behind and just push back on that clip and it releases it. Okay, I broke 2 clips because for some reason them would not release. But there it is. Good thing I got 2 spares from the bracing we took out of the rear. And 2 clips right there broke on me. Alright guys, here's the inner fender. It's the 2-piece. This marker light has, I think, 4, 5 Torx bit screws, which is T30. You gotta take all them out in this brace and the harness, and the rest of it just rips apart. It's really easy. So now, for what we're doing, you want to save, you want to use your factory harness. As you can see, they're wiring lights. So, you want to save this harness. And what I'm doing, just in case, I can get stuff off. Alright, now I'm using a factory harness, and what I'm going to do is cut the pigtails off where the bulbs go in on this factory harness. I'll show you. I'm not going to show you wiring it up, but that way you can still utilize your factory plug. There's the brace for the light. Right there's the light. This clip here, you gotta remove this clip and cut that tab off that it clips to. And then you can see these tabs in here that connects the inner piece to it. Now I come up here, and if you can see, well, you probably can't. I come up here and cut this one off first, and the little lip of that one, because it slides up in and hooks. So I'm gonna cut them off and then start peeling it out. So you gotta take this clip out here first, which ain't that bad. Just pop it out. You gotta do away with all that anyway, so. Then you grab your old Milwaukee. And you come up here and cut them first two tabs off. See, I cut them two off. We're going to be reusing this after I figure out how to fix it. Might go ahead and pop it off for now. So you get a good starting point and find it. And just start pulling on it. Just like that. You just gotta be careful with your painted fender, because you crinkle it when you pull on it, the end of it. There's that. The inner piece is out. Alright, well, I got the inner fender where it's supposed to be. Someone did some hacking here and cut that out for some reason. It's a bend here. I'm gonna straighten it out in a minute, but I got this on the outside. Got this whole thing on the inside and a screw in it. You can see it tore up my fender from it just sitting in there flopping because no one hooked it up right. Another thing I did different on these, which I did it when I got it, I put that rubber hose on the back side of this, because this, when it's loose or up, it was kind of catching it a little bit. So I moved it to the back side. But the inner fender's in. We got the harness in. Now I plug it back in and I run it behind this lip and come back out here after this inner fender's bolted up. And then it clips here and clips there. So, in the factory spots where it was clipped, but underneath. It was clipped under, now it's on top. Because when we get the inner fender in, I bend these up close to the plastic, give it a little bit more support. You'll see that here in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and get my bracket on. Got the one bulb in it. This one's hard to get to. I put a little blue Loctite around the thread so it don't back out. That one's hard to get to once it's in there. The other one's easy. Alright, now it bolts the original spots on the fender. Small drill bit first, then we use a Christmas tree bit to get that 5/8 hole size. Now this lip, it's got a lip on it, kind of does snap to this a little bit. We'll hear it here in a minute once I get it where I need it. There it goes. Kind of forms and snaps right to the lip of that fender. Now, my bracket's setting flat. This is the lip and lipped in. Put some tape over that. Don't mind this Christmas tree bit, it's dull as shit. So you want to separate them back out of the way. Now, I put a piece of tape around this bit so I know where to stop. your hole. Now that's why these lights are bolt style, because this light attaches that bracket and fender together in that hole I just drilled. There it went. Get the nuts on it. I always do the first one, then I come back through with the Loctite on the second one. Well, guys, that's pretty well it, except for wiring. And I'll show you what I'm wiring to. Alright, you can see how that bolts up in there. This lip kind of clips to that bracket a little bit, which none of it's all tight yet, but 2 bolts, your other light. And then we'll go through and bend these up. Some people cut them off, but if anyone ever wants to go back factory, they'll be here. So we'll just bend them up. And then we got to cut all these little tabs off. But anyway, what we're going to do here, this outside one's a park light. This inside one's a blinker. So the blinker one's going to go to these 2 wires on the blinker, which is white and green stripe and black. And then this is a daytime light, marker light also. So we're going to go to the white and brown and black on this bulb. Now I don't have none of my waterproof connectors. I need to order some more. So I'm going to splice these together for now. Leave enough to where I can come back through and put waterproof connectors. But that's all I'm going to do. And then there is, my flashlight must have died. You can kind of see it right there. Let me get out of the light. Right there. They got some cutouts here, there, and there for you to run the zip ties up through to hold the harness up top. So that's cool. But the brakes back here broke on me. So I got to figure out how to fix that. I'll show you on this side where I cut it down. I cut it back so that ain't flopping around. So I'm going to have to do that to the other side too, once I fix it, because it kind of broke on me. Alright guys, you can see we got it all done, tabs cut, wiring up, which I'm going to redo that once I get my other connectors in. We got that piece back there fixed, got our plastic clipped in, then we got our heavy duty 3M tape here. Got it clamped down for a little bit and let it sit there for a while. Then we're going to move this thing outside. I don't know why Rough Country, I mean it had a tab like that long sticking way out past the bumper. Well, we cut them off flush, then put the plastic cap back in there. We did it to both sides. Then we put the caps back in. I mean, it was every bit of out there. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, come on, Dad, I want to go for a trail ride. Alright, guys, there's my mess. Look at the front of that Jeep. The brackets turned out good. Like them. Look how much more clearance you got. Now I'm going to go to the 38, 40. Side lights on. These are your turn signals. Turn them on so you can see them. Just don't hit the flashers. See them working. So much more clearance. If you guys ever want to do that kit, highly recommend Actec Industries. It took a little while to get the parts. I'm not a big fan of FedEx. Man, UPS delivering something, it's there fast. It took a little long to get. That was the only downfall about it. But made in the USA, where else you don't get something like that? Not too many companies out there that's made in the USA. But it turned out good. I like it. Can't wait to flex it out and see what it's on. See what it's gonna look like flexed out. At least we know it won't rub no more, hopefully. But man, it looks good back here. It looks like a Jeep now. I mean, you know what I mean. It had too much junk plastic on there for no reason. So, guys, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you gotta do. See you guys later.